The open border policies of the previous Biden administration have undoubtedly let in some bad actors into the country, as we were just talking about with Senator Johnson. There is growing concern over the enforcement tactics and implementation of immigration laws, especially by ICE. Now, earlier today, Congressman Carlos Gimenez, a Florida Republican who chairs a House Homeland Security subcommittee, said the focus should be on deporting criminals that pose a threat. He warned that the hardline crackdown across the board could hurt Republicans this fall at the ballot box. Joining me now to discuss is Carlos Duran, who is the founder and president of the National Hispanic Pastors Alliance, which earlier today released a statement that in part reflects these concerns of Congressman Gimenez. Carlos, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Tony, and thank you for the invitation.
Pastor Duran, I want to ask you before we get started here, I'm going to put this out here at the beginning so that our listeners and viewers know where you're coming from. Do you support illegal immigration, people coming into this country illegally?
I personally do not support illegal immigration. Our organization, the National Hispanic Pastors Alliance, do not support illegal immigration. And I will go farther than that. I think the Hispanic community at large do not support illegal immigration. They actually voted, 45% of them voted for President Trump. And echoing what the senator just said, President was elected with an agenda to deal with the illegal immigration and the criminals. So I think that at large, the Hispanic community understand that we have a problem with illegal immigration and we do want a solution to it.
All right. I just wanted to get that out front so people realize that you are for law and order. I want to read from the statement that you read or that you released today and then let you comment on that. Quote, "We are grateful that the current administration is now addressing the issue of illegal immigration. Those who love this country rightfully desire a secure nation." And then you go on to say that NAHPA is deeply concerned that certain enforcement practices appear to stretch and in some cases infringe upon the constitutional rights of citizens and lawful residents, including due process protections guaranteed by the Constitution. You want the law enforced, but there's concerns. Talk about that.
Well, when you have to, we work with churches across the country. And when parents are afraid of sending their kids to a school, when they're afraid to go to work, when our churches are empty because parents and families are afraid to go to church, there is a big issue and fear is in our community. I think the way they are implementing the immigration laws right now are need to be controlled and need to be, we need to show restraint, and we need to understand that we are not just going after the criminals, but actually the whole community is being traumatized at this point, not just the Hispanic community, but we have to talk about the Somalians, the blacks, the whites. This is a problem that is eroding to a certain point our trust in our government entities and authorities. And I think in trying to enforce the law, we're actually destroying the trust in our government entities that help us hold these communities together.
Now, Carlos, I want to be clear on this. You're talking about fear within communities of people who are here legally.
Legally, yes.
Because there is
clear example. My son, he actually he looks white. You know, I'm talking about race here. He doesn't look Hispanic. He calls me up. He's an engineer in a very big company in the United States, and he says to me, "Dad, I'm going around with my passport because I'm concerned they're going to stop me." And he's an American citizen born in the United States. So this is just one of many examples. This is across the country. We are afraid to get in a plane, to be honest with you. And I'm telling you in my personal testimony.
Well, I know that that's not isolated because I've been getting calls from pastors, not Hispanic pastors. I've been getting from Caucasian pastors, conservatives who have Hispanics in their church legally here in this country. And there's this, just like a dragnet, just kind of sweeping up everybody into it. And, you know, it eventually works out. But I mean, if you're detained and you're not able to go to work or your family doesn't know what happened to you, it becomes problematic. And that fear, quite frankly, is not healthy.
It stops the whole economy. and the healthy growth of the community. President Trump himself, I heard him last week when he says, "My purpose is to deport undocumented and illegal immigrants that are criminals, that have broken the law, not families that have been here for 20 years, 15 years, 30 years. They are part of our community. They pay taxes, and they just need us to enforce the law with compassion. And we have to address the real issues that the immigration system is broken, and that the immigration issue have been weaponized by individuals, by agendas, and by political parties. And it's not convenient for any of them to find a solution, because it actually divides us. And so I think it's time for us to stop marching, to stop complaining, and actually hold our elected officials accountable and say we need a solution to this problem that is actually affecting our communities, our churches, and our system, a complete system of the United States.
We have about 45 seconds left, Carlos. Congressman Jimenez from Florida earlier today said that he's concerned that this could put at risk the midterm elections for Republicans because Hispanics in the last election voted heavily for Republicans. Do you agree with that?
Completely agree with that. The clear testimony of this, we lost Miami's election. You know, Miami is a stronghold, is where the president lives, it's his house, and we lost the mayor elections. The Hispanic community agrees with the president, 45% voted for him, but I think that these midterm elections, if we do not message this differently, we have a problem. Quick note,
right.
Obama had deported more people by this time than Trump.
All right, we got to leave it. Carlos, we've got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.